What's happening, Andy here? I'm joined today by Aziz Benmalek of ConnectWise. How are you, Aziz?
I am doing great, Andy. How are you doing?
I am awesome. It is great to see you. Great to meet you. You are a big hire, a big name that has come into ConnectWise, a company that we work with, and a company that a lot of people in our my world, the office equipment reseller world, is very interested in. So I thought, what a great time to maybe right before the holiday here, get you on the show, and we'll find out a little bit more about who is ConnectWise, and more specifically, who is Aziz.
I appreciate that, Andy. So, good morning and great to join you, Andy. Thank you for having me, and looking forward to our discussion.
Well, thanks for coming on. This has been great. I think it would be appropriate to maybe take a step back and give us some background. First, just tell us a little bit about who ConnectWise is in case someone watching doesn't really know. I think most people do. And then let's talk about maybe your background and then what your role with ConnectWise will be.
Yeah, no, I appreciate. So, let me start with ConnectWise. I'm sure many of the listeners know ConnectWise, but ConnectWise is really the leader in the providing for small and medium businesses and lower enterprises from an IT services that's across the business management solutions that we have with the PSA that is at the core of what we are driving, as well as other products like CPQ and other sets of product that's really at the core of the platform for the back office for MSPs, for office equipment industry, and for IT services, internal IT services, along with other areas where we provide a complete solution from security, as well as remote management solutions. So really a complete solutions across the back office and the platform to run the business for MSPs, for office equipment, as well as security and RMM. ConnectWise has been in the industry for many, many, many years, has really created this industry over the last 15 years or so. And I think remained the player in this industry. And I think with all the innovation that we are driving, we will reinvent as well and continue to add value to this industry. So that's a little bit about ConnectWise. A little bit about me, Andy, which is I very excited to be here. So I have been at ConnectWise for a little bit over a month now. Really excited to be joining ConnectWise. And I have been in the industry for over 25 years, working with some big names and companies where I led multi-billion-dollar businesses, be it at Microsoft, globally and different parts of the world, in Europe, in the Middle East and Africa region, and the mothership in Redmond, as well as Splunk. And I'm sure you know Splunk has been acquired by Cisco recently around the data platform security, IT ops, DevOps, and IoT. And finally, in the last 4 years, at Sage, as a president, running the go-to-market for North America globally over billion plus business, and scaling that business. So ConnectWise for me, it's really going back to my first love, and we can talk about that. Yeah.
I think we will. You have a strong focus on cloud.
Indeed.
Is what I got out of the press release. That's a big part of your background, a lot of what you've been working on for the last several years. And it's no secret, right? That's the future of a lot of our advancements and where our technology is going. Um, there's a little on-prem little on-prem hanging in there, but I think the momentum is on cloud, and so it's really no coincidence to bring a cloud expert in. Let's talk a little bit about your background in cloud, maybe, and how you think that might be of a beneficial nature to what you're bringing to the table for ConnectWise and to their resellers.
No, I appreciate Andy, and I think you are highlighting a very important point, going back to that first love. And this is really started back in the early 2000s, at the beginning. I mean, there was, no real cloud at that time. No set of, I mean, from a hyperscale public cloud or other services like Office 365 and other scenarios. And when I was running the telco industry at Microsoft, we started the hosting and cloud services back then in the early 2000s. And it was really delivering and managed services and services provider ecosystem that runs from the big service hosters at that time, from Rackspace or Savis or SoftLayer and GoDaddy and other players, as well as the telcos. And it was delivering hosted services from their data center and allowing to small and medium businesses and lower enterprises. So started with hosted Exchange and hosted SharePoint from a data center of services providers and Windows-based hosting and all these pieces led and took that business with the transformation and Microsoft becoming a cloud provider with Azure and Office 365. And what we were doing with Hosted Exchange and SharePoint led to BPOS and Office 365. And with Windows, similar led to with Hyper-V and System Center led to Azure services and Azure Stack, Azure Pack and Azure Stack. And that really was the beginning of the cloud services from the data center of services providers and led the transformation in the hybrid cloud services with the CSP business model to allow really services provider and managed services provider not only to deliver services from their data center, but to deliver additional cloud services from the hyperscale public cloud. And that's how we scaled Office 365 and Azure services. So very familiar, definitely with that space, and I think that's really an exciting space, and that's why be it MSPs or Office technology in industry, and really it's a critical route to market and providers for helping small and medium businesses and enterprises scale their business through all the IT services that they can provide.
So these IT services and all these cloud services, is this subscription based? Is this, playing into is this moving into a different model or moving into, let's just say, a newer model? Because it does seem that it plays into that. And you think about on-prem and you're buying hardware. You're buying hardware that sits in your office and you're not necessarily paying that monthly recurring fee, maybe a maintenance fee. But now we're talking about user fees and just one monthly cost per user. Does it make it more complicated? Does it make it more profitable? Does it make it easier for the resellers? How does that part of it play into this?
Yeah, no, I think you are highlighting a very important piece, Andy, which is really the business model that has evolved over the years. And I think for the office equipment industry, it's critical a new route to market to deliver services to customers. And it's all honestly about the business model of having recurrent revenue streams and services that are pay-as-you-go business model, where you add a lot of value from a managed services point of view. And I think that's really moving and helping customers move from a CapEx model to a more an OpEx model from their business models, and can allow them to scale the business with services that are delivered by MSPs or office equipment industries that are really important. And that spans across all the IT services from security to remote desktop management to really running the backend from an IT services for these companies. So it's pay-as-you-go business model, is OpEx for the customer versus CapEx model, is the ability to have world-class set of services delivered and managed for small and medium businesses and enterprises. And it's a recurring pay-as-you-go model that is the way to scale SaaS and cloud services as we move forward. Yeah.
So when you got here, when you came to ConnectWise, you've been here for a month now. So it's one thing to sit on the other side of the table, have your interviews, and decide. I mean, you knew who ConnectWise was. Obviously, it's a monster company, and I'm sure it was very exciting to get there. But now you're there for a month. You've had a chance to look, peek behind the screen there and see what's really going on. What are some things that you're excited about, going forward that you really had no way of knowing and before you took the job, but now that you've got your feet, you're starting to get your feet wet, going forward, your vision, what are you excited to do when you're there?
Yeah, no, it's really great question. But let me share with you a little bit on how I look at it and why I came to ConnectWise a little bit, and then tell you where we are going and the excitement about the opportunity ahead of us. I always look at throughout my career, be it in opportunities or a business opportunity, in fact, or a company. I look at three main areas, Andy, around how I judge. Really get a little bit more in depth and make some decisions. One is the market opportunity and where we play. Number two is the product market fit from the product and solution that is being delivered in the market. And third is the leadership, the culture, and the organization. And on all these pieces, honestly, I think the market opportunity around managed services and delivering managed services in this business model that we were talking about is huge for small and medium businesses. And that's, I think, a market opportunity of multi-billion dollars, and that is expanding globally. So the market is there. That's number one. And the need for solving IT services for customers is there with honestly cybersecurity being on the forefront on how that could evolve from a need point of view on how things are evolving. I think the second piece, which is from a product and market fit, ConnectWise is amazingly positioned. The products around the BMS solutions with the portfolio from PSA to CPQ is super important because that's the engine of how the managed services providers and office equipment run their business. I mean, security and RMM. It's a complete solutions with data protection. It's a complete solution, honestly, for the business, which is great. And finally, I think honestly the leadership, the passion of the team, the excitement, the knowledge in this space, and how they are excited about this space and passionate. It's very, very exciting around the culture and the team and the collaboration in the team. So really that's the pieces that helped me and made my decision. That's number one. And second, when I came to ConnectWise, honestly, I think it's really even more exciting opportunities with the platform and the solution we are working on. Azure platform and how we are really bringing the next generation of solution into this space that is even more exciting, that enable a much bigger offerings and solutions and ecosystem to help us scale the business and offer more solutions down the road. So yeah, a lot to do.
Exciting.
And very exciting. So, but there are some pieces I think we are working on, and I think could help us even develop a much better relationship with our customers and partners as we move forward.
So the people watching the video, our viewers, typically the office equipment resellers.
Sure.
A lot of them are in this. A lot of them have made that decision. They've moved into managed services. Some are doing really well at it. Some are, still at the infancy stages, and they're still trying to figure some things out. And then we've got a group of resellers who have looked at it and said, I don't know if I want to do it at all. Looking at these three distinct groups, what do you think? And I know you're doing well with that first group that's, engaged and into it, but you've got these other two groups here. And, as we kind of wind up this little first interview, what are some things you might want to tell those guys?
Yeah. So number one is the opportunity in the managed services and recurring business and new business model for some of the office equipment, and some already doing this business, and they see it as a really a big part of their growth engine and recurring revenue as they transform their business. Because there is a transformation in this industry similar to what happens in other industries, where you have to continue to evolve your business and to drive new revenue streams and new services for serving the customers versus just selling hardware or selling other equipment. But I think this is, first of all, it's very exciting revenue stream and business model. That's number one. For the ones who are doing it, definitely you are going to see ConnectWise as a partner to how do we help you even scale that even bigger and drive more additional services that can help you add more value to your existing customers or new customers that you are acquiring. And that's, I think, more revenue stream, more opportunity, and more value. That's the one who are doing it already. So how can we scale that business and be a better partner for you on that sense? For the ones who are question, should I go into that business or not, and so on, I would definitely encourage you to look at that piece of the business because you have to continue to transform your revenue and business model. And boy, that's a revenue stream and opportunity you may be missing on. And we are happy to engage and help you develop that business model as we move forward. And I think it's really an amazing opportunity to continue to drive the business.
Well, you keep saying a word that people in our world love, and that's recurring revenue. I guess it's two
Yeah.
words. I'm a copier guy, forgive me, right? But recurring revenue, and that's the magic, right? That's what you want. That's the monthly payment that you build a business, a successful business around. And as office equipment, as print slowly declines, these guys are all looking for what's the next thing. We'll see you at your next show that we're going to is IT Nation Connect. That, by the way, for people watching this, it's 10 times bigger than any normal office equipment what I would consider a copier show, at least, right? There's around 5,000 people at these shows and dozens of partners on the floor, not just a handful of them that you've seen at every show, but a bunch of new ones, some familiar ones, some of our world does go to your show. Great America, a leasing company, they're there. ECI is there. Gary Lavin is there with CEO Juice. So you've got some companies, traditional companies in our world that have started to really look at your shows and your organization is just an opportunity to tie into something bigger. And it'll be great to see you down there in your new role. It won't be so new at that point. But that's coming up. I believe that's November, and I think you even may have one coming sooner, but we won't be at that one. But this has been a pleasure.
Correct.
I really appreciate you taking the time. You must be swamped right now, being in your first month with this. But I think our readers and followers are going to love catching up with you. And if there's anything we can do, I'd be happy to do it. But thank you so much, Aziz, for coming on today.
Thank you very much, Andy, and thank you for having me today. I really appreciate. And as you highlighted, IT Nation Connect is a flagship and a big event, and I'm looking forward definitely to meeting a lot of leaders from office equipment industry, and then partnering together as we move forward. But thank you, Andy, for having me, and great to be here with you today.
Great seeing you. Take care and have a great Labor Day weekend. Thank
All
you.
right, take care. Bye-bye.